To mark the beginning of today's ceremony, I invite the dignitaries on the dais to kindly come forward for the lighting of the traditional lamp. As the flame is kindled, may it inspire us all to uphold truth, justice, and the values enshrined in our Constitution.
At the outset, I request the President of the High Court Bar Association, Shri Atul Pandey, to welcome the Honorable the Chief Justice of India with a bouquet.
I request Dr. Bhanudas Kulkarni to welcome respected Dr. Kamaltai Gawai with a bouquet. I request Advocate Gauri Venkataraman, former President of the High Court Bar Association, to welcome Dr. Tejaswini Gawai with flowers.
We are indeed honored to have Dr. Tejaswini Gawai with us here today. I now request Advocate Amol Jaltare, Secretary, to welcome Honorable Shri Justice Uday Lalit with a bouquet.
I invite Vice President Advocate Pankaj Tidke to welcome Honorable Shri Justice Deepankar Datto with flowers.
I request Vice President Advocate Sharad Bhattar to welcome Honorable Shri Justice P.B. Varare with flowers.
I request the Treasurer, Advocate Madhav Lakhe, to welcome Honorable Shri Justice A.S. Sandurkar with a bouquet.
I now request the Joint Secretary of the HCBA, Advocate Prithviraj Chauhan, to welcome Honorable Shri Justice Alok Arade with a bouquet.
I invite Advocate Vishwajit Singh Oberoi, Library in Charge, to welcome Honorable Shri Justice Nitin Samre with flowers.
I request Executive Member Advocate Apurva Kolle to welcome Honorable Shri Justice Anil Kilor with flowers.
I request Advocate Bosco Anthony, Executive Member, to welcome the learned Solicitor General of India, Advocate Tushar Mehta, with a bouquet.
I request Executive Member Shri Sagar Katkar to welcome Dr. Birindra Saraf, the Advocate General of Maharashtra, with a bouquet. Thank you, my lords. Thank you, my lords. May I now invite Advocate Atul Pandey, President of the High Court Bar Association, to deliver his welcome address before this August gathering.
Respected dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all. It is my honor and privilege to extend a warm welcome and heartfelt respect to Honorable Shri Justice Bhushan Ramkrishna Gawai, the Chief Justice of India. Chief guest of today's function, Honorable Shri Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, former Chief Justice of India. President of the function, Honorable Shri Justice Dipankar Datta, Judge, Supreme Court of India. Guest of honor, Honorable Shri Justice Prasanna Varade, Judge, Supreme Court of India. Honorable Shri Justice Atul Sandurkar, Judge, Supreme Court of India. Honorable Shri Justice Alok Arade, Chief Justice, Bombay High Court. Honorable Shri Justice Nitin Samre, Administrative Judge, Bombay High Court, Nagpur Bench. Honorable Shri Justice Anil Kilor, Judge, Bombay High Court, Nagpur Bench. Honorable Shri Tushar Mehta, Learned Solicitor General of India. Honorable Dr. Birindra Saraf, Advocate General, State of Maharashtra. Honorable sitting and former judges of Bombay High Court, who grace this occasion with their presence. Honorable Shri Justice Sanjeev Kalgaonkar, Judge, Madhya Pradesh High Court, whose presence here holds a deep personal meaning for me. Honorable judicial members, distinguished senior counsels, esteemed members of the bar, dear students, and my dear brothers and sisters. We are specially honored by the gracious presence of Dr. Kamlatai Ramkrishna Gawai, the respected mother of Honorable Chief Justice, and Dr. Tejaswini Gawai, better half of Chief Justice, whose strength and support have been an integral part of his Lordship's inspiring journey. There are days that etch themselves into the history of a region, and today is one such day. As I stand before this eminent gathering, I feel the weight of history and the warmth of shared conviction and faith. We gather here to felicitate a towering personality in the Indian judiciary, our very own Honorable Shri Justice Bhushan Ramkrishna Gawai, the 52nd Chief Justice of India, a son of soil, whose life and journey are a testament of pervasive legal acumen and devotion to justice. It is a story of rising from humble beginning, a journey that began in the modest lanes of Nagpur as a first-generation lawyer with no legacy but immense resolve, has reached the highest seat of judiciary in the country, rising through the ranks from serving as a government pleader to becoming a judge of the Bombay High Court, later the Supreme Court, and now the Chief Justice of India. It is a journey shaped by sincere commitment, profound wisdom, and an enduring dedication to the service of law and the nation. Your Lordship, even your name, Bhushan, echoes honor and glory. You are not just a jewel in the crown of the judiciary, but the soul of the High Court Bar Association's pride. With balance of helpfulness and humble support, you remain approachable to all of us. Your noble heart has not only upheld the law, but uplifted the spirit of justice itself. Throughout your judicial career, your Lordship has consistently upheld the idea that justice must not only be legal, but also socially meaningful and economically inclusive. You have given voice to the silent, strength to the weak, and hope to those for whom justice often feels out of reach. Justice Gawai is known for very bold, articulate, fearless judgments. Though he supported judicial activism, he always discouraged judicial adventurism and refrained from passing sweeping orders encroaching upon the executive domain. But at the same time, he kept government and its officials on toes in the matter of genuine public interest and never hesitated in cracking whips against high and mighty found on the wrong side of law. Recently, your Lordship presided over steam bench of Supreme Court, delivered the landmark judgment on Jhudpi Jangal lands in Vidarbha, striking a crucial balance between environmental conservation and the right of local communities, thereby setting a precedent of sustainable and equitable jurisprudence. Earlier, as a distinguished judge of the Bombay High Court, your verdict in the Shegaon Devasthan case upheld the sanctity of faith while ensuring procedural fairness. It stood as a testament to your deep reverence for both tradition and justice, reflecting your sensitivity to the culture and spiritual fabric of our society. In your pivotal intervention to safeguard MBBS seats at Indira Gandhi Government Medical College in Vidarbha, your Lordship not only secured crucial educational opportunities for aspiring doctors, but also instilled renewed hope across the region. It was not merely about seats, it was about nurturing dreams, empowering youth, and strengthening the healthcare infrastructure of an entire region. These judgments are far more than legal pronouncements. They are a reflection of your deep compassion, empathy, and unwavering commitment to justice. In your hands, justice is not a distant command, but a living force, firm, fair, and full of heart. Your Lordship has also played a vital role in shaping the Maharashtra National Law University alongside Honorable Justice Sharad Bobde, former Chief Justice of India, and Honorable Shri Justice V.S. Sirpurkar. This contribution has left an enduring mark on legal education and the future of jurisprudence in our country. Your elevation to the highest judicial office was not just a personal milestone, but a moment of pride for HCBA and the entire legal fraternity. A large number of lawyers and well-wishers from across the nation, especially from Vidarbha, gathered in Delhi to witness and celebrate the swearing-in ceremony, which shows an overwhelming gesture of respect, admiration, and affection. In your Lordship's view, justice is not a privilege of the few, but a right of all. It must be delivered in a way that respects both individual dignity and the collective good. This deep commitment to socio-economic equity and judicial reform is what makes Justice Gawai is not just a learned judge, but a visionary leader who carries forward the ideas of Constitution, with both courage and compassion. On behalf of High Court Bar Association, we offer our heartfelt congratulations as you begin this new and historic chapter as the Honorable Chief Justice of India. I offer my personal respect and gratitude. May your tenure continue to inspire the spirit of justice in every corner of the country. Once again, I thank each one of you for being a part of this momentous occasion. May the ideals and values reflected today continue to guide us in our service to justice and society. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Advocate Pandey, for your address. Many of our members of the bar have had the good fortune to not only appear before my Lord Justice Gawai, but also to oppose his lordship at the bar when he was practicing at Nagpur. Many of us share fond recollections about his lordship, his warmth, and his persona. Today, we would be delighted to hear from a few senior members their memories and reminiscences about my Lord Justice B.R. Gawai. At the outset, I invite Senior Advocate Mr. Firdoz Mirza to speak a few words.
My Lord, Shri Bhushan Gawai, the Chief Justice of India, Bhai Sahib, I got only 3 minutes, so if I am pardoned, the dignitaries on the dais, and the dignitaries of the dais. If I need to address my Lord, I'll read a couplet. कि तेरे कदमों से रोशनी फैलती जाती, तेरे कदमों से रोशनी फैलती जाती, इंसानियत की डूबती कश्ती संभलती जाती. Friends, I migrated to Nagpur in 2003 and my Lord was elevated the same year. But at that time, he was a government pleader. And the last PIL he opposed or appeared as government pleader, in that I was appearing for the petitioner. In my own district, that is Yatmal district, it was reported that around 200 kolams have died. So I was requesting the court to take action against the officers for that unnatural death that was reported to be starvation death. My Lord called me to his chamber and said this, look, those officers needs to be punished. But what is required today is the immediate assistance to the Kolam tribe, that is primitive tribe, and therefore focus on that. So the first thing I learned in my very first year at High Court, that you need to focus on the targeted group which requires assistance from the courts. My Lords, I am indebted for that lesson. And I am happy to share our State Information Commissioner, Mr. Pandey, is there. He is witness to that. 30,000 Kolam families, those were not in the official records, were entered in the official records, got BPL, all benefits. Then the second lesson we learned in Shegao project. While Shegao project, it was required to expand the premises of the mandir, as well as we were requiring a large space for parking. But there were encroachment of Matangwadi and Khalwadi area. That was on government land. I, as amicus, simply circulated a note before my Lord that they don't have any right to stay there and we need this land. My Lord said no. this would not be in equity to uproot these people. And by molding the relief, Milord caught hold the Sansthan, got the land donated, and 2 colonies were constructed there, and the encroachers became the house owners only by molding this relief by the Milord. Milord, later on we received, Justice Dangre is witness to that, when she was a government leader, around 200% came with a memorandum that as you have given us good houses, now we need TVs and sofas also. And another delegation came. They said that now as we have shifted to good colony, we are getting better matrimonial proposals for our children. So, my lord, this was the social justice. There are so many instances in all these PILs that I can mention, and that shows the face of justice, the angle at how the equity is to be judged and what was done by my lord. But while my lord at Mumbai was dealing with Hawker's case, my lord said that the rights of society are to be given preference over the individual rights and restrain the hawkers from unbridled hawking on the roads, footpaths, and that gave the daily commuters a space to walk upon. My lord, your recent judgment on bulldozers, that has given respite to the entire country, the underprivileged, the marginalized, from the tyranny of the oppressors sitting in the state chairs. My lords, the couplet you have used in that judgment, that reminds me that my lords, roots in the social circles, my lords, roots in the underprivileged people, my lords, the couplet says, अपना घर हो, अपना आंगन हो. This was Kavi Pradeep. अपना घर हो, अपना आंगन हो, इस ख्वाब में हर कोई जीता है. इंसान के दिल की यह चाहत है कि एक घर का सपना कभी न छूटे. This shows that though my lord have reached the pinnacle of or the fountainhead of our system, but still my lord remembers the problems faced by each poor person. I'll sum up with quoting a couplet in honor of my lord, that हक की राह पर चलता है, न डगमगाए कभी, इंसाफ का ये दीवाना दिल को जीता सदा. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for revealing such a warm human side of my lord. Now I invite Senior Advocate Shri S.K. Mishra to address the gathering.
My Lord, the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Justice B.R. Gawai, Justice B.R. Gawai. Now I will be maintaining the thing which my learned colleague just now has done with my Lord's permission. Without taking the names and wasting the time of the guest on the dais, I'll proceed by saying that guest on the dais and the honorable guest of the dais, my colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen. It is both an honor and personal joy to stand before you today to felicitate Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice B.R. Gawai, someone who has been a guiding force in our lives, and for me, a true friend, philosopher, and guide. Sir, your journey through the corridors of law has been nothing short of extraordinary, with a career built on the foundation of integrity, insight, unwavering commitment to justice. You have not only interpreted law, but elevated its spirit. Your judgments have shaped legal thoughts, your reasoning has inspired generations, and your courtroom has always stood as a temple of fairness. But today, we are here not only to honor the robes you wear, but character you embody. Now, as I was asked to give my personal views, because I have seen my Lord as a lawyer right from the year 1991 and till today. So in these 35 years, how I know my lords, and especially Mr. Justice Bhushan Gawai, and I will again, without cutting short, to illustrate further things, I will describe him, which I know him from last 35 years, with a couplet that यूं तो जीने के लिए लोग जिया करते हैं, यूं तो जीने के लिए लोग जिया करते हैं, लाभ जीवन का नहीं फिर भी लिया करते हैं, अरे मौत के पहले मरते हजारों लेकिन जिंदगी उनकी जो सबके साथ जिया करते हैं, जो सबके साथ जिया करते हैं. My Lord, with respect I will say that you are living life and you are living with all of us, and therefore we are in debt to you. Now, my first interaction with my Lord, because I came to know him in the year 1991. Prior to that, I was not having any, I was not knowing him, to be very frank. And sir, I will remind you that we came very close to each other as a lawyers in the year 1993, when your lordship has an inspiring speech in the lawns of Hotel Trupti in the evening on the eve of the election of High Court Bar Association. And that showed a great quality in you of leadership. And from that day, we started working together in the bar and elections, and fortunately, with my Lord's help, we could win the election on all the candidates supported by us were got elected in the year 1993. His leadership quality continued, and he, with his able supporting me, fulfilled my desire to become the youngest president of the District Bar Association in the year 1996. Again, I aspired to become, I am specifically mentioning this. I requested my Lord that, my Lord, now I want to become the president of High Court Bar Association. He specifically told me that, Mr. Mishra, this year you don't contest. We want to create a history in our association by electing a lady president. To be very frank, I thought that I can win the election with my Sena. I didn't accepted his request and proceeded to contest the election. The result was I was defeated because my Lord was opposing me. And therefore I say very frankly that I was contesting independently with a pride that my Sena will win for me without Krishna with me, and therefore my Krishna is my Lord, and I was defeated is a fact. And thereafter, that was the year of 2003, my Lord was elevated in 2003. And therefore, thereafter, to be very frank, and everybody knows it, though I was very much interested in contesting election, but my Lord, you are aware that thereafter I didn't contest an election. Now also I don't have any intention to contest the election. Because my Krishna is not there to help me. Now, thereafter, I have seen him working as government leader. I'll definitely admit this fact, that at least in 46 years of my practice, to be very frank, I have not seen a government leader working the fashion in which Justice Gawai worked. We have seen he has never tried to justify any orders which were illegal, non-justifiable, and he used to tell to the officers that you please withdraw the orders. And if the officer insisted that you go ahead with the matter, he used frankly tell to the court, sir, this order I can't justify, quash this order. Why this he was able to tell? Because he was not under the fear that he will lose his GP. He wanted that thing from his colleagues who were appearing for the government and for the public bodies. Now, here, my Lord Justice Nitin Samre, my Lord Justice Bharti Dangre, and fortunately, I was the Assistant Solicitor General when my Lord was heading a PIL jurisdiction. My Lord has fixed Wednesday as a PIL day, and he used to tell the government leader, the additional government leader, and the Assistant Solicitor General are to be here at 10:30 till the PIL roster, PIL board is not exhausted. Everybody was there. Now, I was there at that time appearing for both the planning authorities, having 20-25 cases. But I can say with pride that I didn't get any prasad from my Lord on the point that you have not studied the matter. Otherwise, we used to get a lot of prasads from my Lord. But the way in which my Lord has handled the PIL jurisdiction, immense. Now, it has worked wonders for Nagpur. The flyovers, the widening of road, not only Nagpur, entire Vidarbh is benefited. And the highway, most particularly the Jabalpur highway, wherein my Lord has quashed an order passed by an NGT, which was subsequently challenged in Supreme Court and was upheld. I'll admit here and say that metro is a gift of my Lord to the Nagpur city. So I used to appear for metro and every hurdles were removed. Therefore, how the metro came in the city of Nagpur. So his working is immense. He has worked for the common people, and he always wanted that justice not only should be done, but it should reach to the common people. And he is still doing it as a judge. I will say, I'm exceeding some time, but I will say that he was never adamant. He used to change his view. Always used to change the view. I'm at the cost of exceeding my time. I'll be failing in my duty if I'm not able to tell it. That one matter in respect of development control rules was before my Lord. It was argued and it could not be finished. My Lord specifically said from the bench that Mr. Mishra, you are appearing for respondent, there is nothing, we are going to allow this petition. The court was adjourned because of short of time. It was kept day after tomorrow. Unfortunately, I had gone to Mumbai and I could not come to that day. My Lord took it left and right and said that Mr. Mishra is avoiding the bench. Ask him to be here. Fortunately, now my Lord Justice Dangre was the government leader. He telephoned me and said that you immediately come. My Lord Justice Chandurkar was the other judge with my Lord Justice. Now, my Lord heard me for an hour. And do you know what was the order? My Lord said, petition dismiss, reasons to follow. That is what, yes. Therefore, now, I'll conclude by saying that we have been inspired by your Lordship's presence only. Generations are inspired. And now to conclude, without taking further time, the inspiration which we have derived from my Lord can be said in a couplet कि यह भी अगर मान लो ऊंची पर्वत की चोटी है, यह भी अगर मान लो ऊंची पर्वत की चोटी है, किंतु फावड़े के समक्ष धरती पर आकर लोटी है। यही इरादे साथ लिए हर संकट में तू बढ़ता जा, दुख की ऊंची दीवारों की उम्र बहुत ही छोटी है, उम्र बहुत ही छोटी है। धन्यवाद। थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir, for bringing forth to all of us the divine side of my Lord Justice Gawai. I now invite Senior Advocate Shri Anand Jesal on stage to share his thoughts with us.
My Lord Justice Gawai, dignitaries on and off the dais, forgive me for not acknowledging everybody because of paucity of time. Today I wish to place before this August gathering my personal memories and observations, not as Justice Gawai, but as him as a person, not as a judge, but as a person and his development which led him to become an excellent government pleader and a judge par excellence. Let me take you back about 3 decades when we were juniors. The High Court Bar Association Nagpur was then a small body. The 2 annex buildings we see today were not there. There were only 2 bar associations, one in the library on the ground floor and one on the first floor. Besides that, there were some chambers on the ground floor, and of course Naidu's canteen, all of us would recollect that. Everybody knew everybody because the number was limited. At least the seniors knew us as belonging to somebody's office. So we used to interact with each other, all the juniors, quite a bit in the corridors and outside the court. In the early 1990s, once there was a buzz in the corridors. Why? Because a new lawyer had appeared in the corridors, a tall, lanky young man. We were told that he is the son of R.S. Gawai. R.S. Gawai even then was a very formidable persona in our politics. So we did not know what to expect from this person who is the son of R.S. Gawai. What we came to find is a person who had no airs about his background, a person who was very frank in his talk and spoke with a candor which was very rare for that time. He was not judgmental of anybody, nor did he have any fixated ideas about anything. What we found was a person with whom we would talk, not only about what was happening in court, but about everything, about our seniors, about bar politics, about the politics of the state, about forest, wildlife, so many things, everything under the sun, either in the corridors where we met, or in the canteen over a cup of tea, and on some occasions also in the evenings over something stronger than tea. What we really came to find was a true friend, and that has been cherished by all of us in all these years. Then came the responsibilities. The first responsibility which came was that of the government pleader. As Mr. Mishra has pointed out, he had a knack of looking at the matter not only from the government's point of view, but an overall point of view. And he would take a fair view of the matter, and I'm sure he must have faced a lot of pressure, but he never bowed under the pressure. This was a facet of his personality which came to fore only after this responsibility was brought upon him and he became the government leader. Then, of course, came his elevation as a judge of the Bombay High Court, an occasion which we all celebrated. We were all happy that one amongst us has become a judge. His growth, I am speaking of his personality, his growth trajectory was phenomenal. He had the uncanny ability to sift the chaff from the grain and come to the truth. He had the ability to listen, not just listen, but understand and empathize. In my humble opinion, empathy is something which is most needed in a judge, because it is only with empathy that you can deliver true justice. And this was there in plenty. In a short while, my lord became a favorite of everybody, and especially I speak for the younger members of the bar at that time. They really enjoyed appearing before him because he encouraged them, he treated them as equals and made them work. He guided them and told them what to do. Now, after a very successful stint as a judge of the Bombay High Court, he was elevated truly deservingly to the Supreme Court of India. It was another occasion when the bar came together, the bar celebrated as one, and really took pride in the fact that one amongst us had now reached the highest court of the land. He carried with him the same demeanor by which he dispensed justice in the Bombay High Court and became known as one of the judges who would stand no nonsense but would deliver justice even in the Supreme Court. The loss of the juniors of Bombay became a gain of the nation. My lord, we have been privileged to watch your growth from a lawyer right up to the Supreme Court. And on this occasion, when your lordship has now adorned the highest seat of the land, on behalf of all your innumerable admirers, friends and well-wishers here in Nagpur, and on my own behalf, I wish you a glorious career, even more glorious than what it has been today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for speaking about such unknown facets of my lord's early career days. It is my privilege to invite Senior Advocate Shri Sunil Manor to speak a few words.
Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Shri B.R. Gawai, Mrs. Gawai, Senior Mrs. Gawai, former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India, Shri Uday Lalit, Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court, My Lord Justice Datto, My Lord Justice Varai, My Lord Justice Chandurkar, Justice Samre, Justice Kilor, other sitting judges of the Bombay High Court, retired judges of the Bombay High Court, Honorable the Solicitor General of India, Honorable the Advocate General of India, President of the Bar, members of the Bar, and especially the junior members of the Bar. It's a golden moment today for the Nagpur Bar Association that we assemble here to honor and felicitate Justice Gawai for attaining the pinnacle of judicial career. As they say, higher than the highest, higher than whom none higher sat. My association with Justice Gawai goes back to 1987, as I recollect, when I met him for the first time on the steps of the Supreme Court of India. He was then a practicing lawyer at the Supreme Court of India. And we talked briefly, but since then, we developed a connection and a bonding which sustained till now. I won't call him a friend of mine, but we shared tremendous camaraderie and bonhomie amongst each other. Today, I propose to speak of Justice Gawai as a man I found him to be, shorn of all the ornamentations and trappings of the various posts he held. Anybody who would interact with Justice Gawai for a few minutes would realize that he has a very sharp intellect. And as a lawyer and as a judge, he had a robust grasp of the matter and an uncanny ability to go to the heart of the matter at once. But apart from that, his sterling quality was his fearlessness and courage. Considerations like what the bar would say, or what would be the public opinion, or what would the powers that may be would think about the judgments, never touched my Lord Justice Gawai. Apart from this quality, what I have personally experienced and the bar must have experienced is his total openness of mind. Till the last word was spoken. I would briefly cite an illustration. My Lord Justice Dangre, who was then a very able government pleader, and we were appearing for a matter for the government. It was a matter about appointment of a pro-vice chancellor. And after hearing the petitioners, Justice Gawai was so dead against us that for the first 5 to 10 minutes, all we had to face was a hostile monologue. Justice Dangre would remember, perhaps we were either looking down or looking at each other. And then after 10 minutes, Justice Gawai said, yes, go on, say what you want to say. Sharp as he was, within 20 minutes, he said that you seem to be right in law. But then he said, we would like to have a second opinion. One of the ablest lawyer was appointed as an amicus. He heard us again. And while he concluded what he spoke, the words still ring in my ears. He said, my views and my predispositions notwithstanding, the law must prevail. You have the judgment. It's not just about the openness of mind. But as I said, though he sits higher than the highest, he has himself put the rule of law above everything else. A sterling quality indeed. But the best quality of Justice Gawai which I found was his sincere desire to do justice. And it was very natural to him. He was a messiah whenever we saw him in Nagpur or in Bombay for those who were oppressed. And to paraphrase Edmund Burke, he could augur misgovernance at a distance, and he would sense injustice in every tainted breeze. We often hear and use the phrase ex debito justici as a date to justice. We hear it, we say it. I would say that my Lord Justice Gawai has lived it. Apart from these sterling qualities, on a personal note, one human quality which has been always endearing to me is that Justice Gawai never bore grudges. Now, as I said, we have been knowing each other for all these years, more than 35 years. And impulsive as I was, at times, at least I remember 2 occasions, I would walk up to Justice Gawai. Once even when he was a judge of the High Court, and I would say, no, judge, this doesn't seem to be right. I would confess I would not do it anymore, because age, if it doesn't bring wisdom, it at least brings timidity of disposition. But Justice Gawai, as he was, he never bore a grudge against me. It was not that he did not bear a grudge. He was not condescending. He did not say, okay, I forgive you. But it was so natural to him to understand that there could be people with different minds and different opinions. I am telling this particularly for the junior members of the bar. We know Justice Gawai quite well. And we know his qualities as a judge and qualities as a human being. But the junior members of the bar, if we want to pay a real tribute to Justice Gawai, we must try to imbibe these great qualities of Justice Gawai as a judge and as a human being. As I look at the watch, the time allotted to me by the President is already over. And at any rate, there is an old adage which particularly lawyers must remember, that if you cannot hold the audience captivated, at least don't hold them captive. I wish all the best to Justice Gawai. May God shower his choicest blessings. And I would say, my lords, don't keep the fork. Maybe the best is yet to come. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Indeed, the memories shared by you about my lord would inspire us juniors to work harder in an attempt to scale higher peaks. We are honored to welcome amongst us the learned Advocate General of Maharashtra, Shri Senior Advocate Dr. Birindra Saraf. Dr. Saraf's illustrious career, spanning over 3 decades, is a hallmark of his legal acumen and insight. Dr. Saraf has had many an opportunity to appear before His Lordship Shri Bhushan Gawai, both in the Bombay High Court as well as before the Apex Court. I now invite Dr. Birindra Saraf to kindly address the gathering.
Of India, Shri Bhushan Gawai, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. It is a real privilege and honor for me today to be a part of this event when the Nagpur bar, of which Justice Gawai is a product, gathers in such large numbers to celebrate the achievement of one amongst them who was one of their own. Because when one amongst us soars high in the sky, we all rise a little. When a bar gathers to celebrate the achievement of one of its members, one who walked the same corridors, who shared the journey of its members, their triumphs, and faced challenges with them, and also shared a collective dream, then that event is not merely a celebration of an individual's achievement. It is a proud moment for the entire community where each member feels as if the honor belongs to them, and each of them celebrates it with heart full and lifted spirits, and that is what I can really see today. In less than 5 years, this bar has given 2 Chief Justices of India, till today 3 Chief Justices of India, so many Supreme Court judges, High Court judges, and therefore, before I felicitate Justice Gawai, I felicitate this bar, whose traditions and values have created stalwarts and icons in the profession. A society always needs icons, role models, individuals whose lives ignite hope and inspiration in others. The journey of Justice Gawai, from a modest childhood, studying on the floor of a Marathi medium municipal school, to occupying the highest judicial chair as the Chief Justice of India, motivates and encourages countless others. His life story demonstrates that determination, resilience, and hard work can overcome even the most formidable obstacles. For when a child in a municipal school sees someone like Justice Gawai reach such heights, it fans his or her dormant dream and reminds that kid that no height is beyond reach and no dream too distant. It serves as a living reminder that no goal is unreachable and no background too humble to achieve greatness. His journey proves that with unwavering resolve, barriers can be broken and destinies rewritten. Justice Gawai's elevation to the highest position in the Indian judiciary is, as many have said before me, a culmination of a career defined by public service, principled grounding, and a judicial outlook shaped by constitutional commitment and social reality. In him, the nation has a Chief Justice whose understanding of justice is firmly rooted in the ground realities of the society. He is acutely aware of the problems that exist at the grassroots, the hardships of the poor, the concerns of the working class, and the everyday battle of the vulnerable. But more than that, he feels their pain. It is not distant to him. It is something which he carries with quite empathy. Not as an outsider, but as someone who sees, understands, and cares. In his courtroom, law is not abstract. It breathes through the stories of people. As Mr. Mirza quoted poet Pradeep, which Justice Gawai had quoted in one of his recent judgments, and to highlight what a shelter means to a man, he said in that judgment, a house is an embodiment of the collective hopes of a family of individuals, stability and security. These are not mere words in a judgment. They are an emotion that express the dream, the aspiration, and the vulnerability of a common man. It is apparent that he wasn't merely delivering a judgment. He was speaking for every person to whom the roof above the head is the most precious. And how does he manage to remain so connected? Heights often create distances, but Justice Gawai never allowed that to happen. Title and position never came in the way of his simplicity and the sense of connection. His doors were always open to lawyers, not out of a sense of obligation, but out of a genuine desire to understand their struggles and support their growth. In a world where power often isolates, Justice Gawai always made his position a bridge and not a high pedestal. I have seen Justice Gawai in so many gatherings,